So today is day 17 and we discuss about the pivot table. The last class we discussed the data analysis and some information about the pivot table. So we start the pivot table. So again I tell you pivot table used for analyze the data, summarize the data and represent of the data. With pivot table you can create the summary of your data and also make the dashboard and reports with pivot table. Right.
Okay.
So before using the pivot table, understand the data. So my data simple the sales data. Okay, which date, name, city, course, quantity, MRP, and month. Which month have a sell out. So
Mhm.
data month. So first we have checked the hour field, my field also available, no any blank field available, and we have also checked my data. In the my data no have any blank row. So now we have select the data, but no need to select the data, but you can also select the data and go to the insert and pivot table. And when you apply the pivot table, this pop up, this is a new worksheet. It means create the new sheets and apply the pivot. But I want to pivot in the P summary sheet, this sheet. So we have go to the P
Mhm.
summary sheet, select the locations and OK. This is the pivot table. So pivot table is simple. This is the pivot area. When you click the pivot area, you have got the this list, this window called the pivot table fill list.
Mhm.
And also you have get the two more tab, pivot table analyze and design. Pivot table analyze and design. Okay, so now this is the
Okay.
heading, and this heading also from your data field heading. So this is available. So you have just choose this field and drop the in four section, the filter, column, value and rows. And your report will be ready here. Simple. But first understand what you want to. Just like I want to which person have a which quantity cell. So we have put the name in the row. You can see you got the list of your name. In the data, the name one name have a many time repeated, but in the pivot one name in one time.
Mhm.
Now I want to sum up the quantity. So you want to calculate the field. So you have dropped to fill list. So which field have a calculation drop to value field, value section. Okay. So your report will be ready. But no, I want to also average of the MRP. So again, we have dropped the MRP in value section and you can see that automatically sum of the value. But I want to average of the value. So we have click here and go to the fills value field setting. Click here and change the calculation sum to average. Now you got the average. But average is the decimal point. You can also decrease and increase decimal from the here, and you can also give the custom formatting when you have changed the formatting, and there is the number format. Click the number format and you have used the custom formatting. Okay, now I want to change my heading just like row level. I want to put here name, so type here name. Sum of the quantity, total quantity, average of MRP, yeah, AVG dash MRP. And also I want to format. You can do also format through the manual format, just like color, border, everything. But problem is that this is not a part of pivot. When your data will be increased, pivot will be increased, then but your format is not increased because I have applied the formatting. So row A2 to C15. But in future data
Mhm.
will be 20, so format can't understand because your pivot and format is not linked. So that time we have used and go to the design and check the pivot table style, and we have select the which style you want to here. Also banded row, banded column, we got the border. So this is the formatting.
Okay.
And you can also apply the visualization just like chart. In the pivot table analyze, we have the pivot chart. You can apply pivot chart also here. But I have also applied the pivot chart from the insert. Both are the same, like that.
Mhm.
Okay. And we have also
Okay.
changed the design from the design. We have select this design. So now my report is ready, and I want to send this report to some persons, but not send the complete file. I want to send only for P summary sheet. So right click on the P summary sheet and move or copy. Create copy and change the new workbook here to book and OK. Now you can see your pivot will be copied to another file, one new file.
Okay. Okay.
Some confusion, some people confuse because this file have a no data. So when you send this
Mhm.
file, pivot is work. Yeah, also work because pivot is carry the data in backend side. When you have click the double click on the total, you can see your data will be copied and pasted to new sheets. Okay.
Okay.
So every time pivot carry the data. So if you have changed anything change, just like I want to also remove the quantity and I want to add the month, you can see here. Your pivot will be work. Okay. Now go to the data. So I want to create the summary with see, just like I want to create name wise, course wise, city wise, total quantity. So we
Mhm.
have select the data, go to the pivot, select the sheet. Sheet selection is not required because you also insert the new sheet. But we have created a sheet already, so we have select. Select the location and OK. Now pivot will be ready. So I want to name put on the row, okay, and city put the column and quantity put the value. This is the matrix format. We have created the report in the matrix format. You can also change. It's just like I want to city in the row, so we have put the city row and column. I put the column. I have a name put the column. So you can also change. So
Mhm.
if we have dropped the field in the row section, your list in row wise, and if you put the field on the column section, your list in the column. Okay. Now this is the blank
Mhm.
area because no cell have. It's like Delhi only for puja will be cell. So no people have any data. So I want to show here zero. Yeah, other character. So we have right click, go to the pivot table option and see here four empty cells. So we have put here zero and okay. You can see put here zero. But remember, when you have create the matrix format of data, that time you have also check check out your column fill list will be short. If you have data more than 200, 300, 400 item list in the column sections, that time you have got the problem, because we have also scrolled the vertical easily, but horizontal scrolling will be not easy. Okay, and also we have more than one calculation, just like we have also put the course here. You can now see, now vertical is calling some criticals. So that time we have put the name in the row and also course here, also course to top. So course wise, city wise, name wise, total sum of, and also we have put the average MRP and change the value average of MRP, and also we have decreased the, once again, oh so sorry, we have need to select only for data. Okay, and you can see this is the collapse expand. So go to the pivot table analyze, and you have collapse expand, collapse expand. So these features we have used when you have complicated data, just like we have put the 5 6 7 fill in the row and also column. So we have used this collapse and expand. Just like your report is only for course wise, but I want to see city of the BI course. Just click here. We got the city, and also name wise we have click here name, we have got the name, like that. So this is a collapse and expand, but this feature only for use when you have send the report as a pivot table, but not every time we have sent the report as a pivot table, because we have created the pivot, get the information, and now copy and paste any locations and do the some extra calculation, some extra calculation. So when you have copy my data, copy and paste here, not a copy paste, only for copy and this is the copy and paste as a value, paste as a value. So now you can't identify which cells have a course, which cell have a city, which cell have a name. Okay, so I want to data in 3 row. First row have a course, second row have a city, and third row have a name. That time we go to the design, and here change the report layout, so in the tabular form.
Okay.
Uh, okay, and this is, you can expand there. Uh, yeah, right. So some confusion because give the total subtotal. So don't want to subtotal. So right click here and click the subtotal. You can see your city subtotal will be removed. And I don't want to show this plus minus plus collapse and expand minus plus button. So in the pivot table analyze, you see here buttons. You have removed here. Now
Oh,
you can see here the course total, subtotal. So can't show, I don't want to show subtotal. So right click here, again click on the subtotal. If you want to show subtotal, right click and click here subtotal. And you want to remove subtotal, right click here, again click on the subtotal. Okay.
okay.
Now this is the blank area. I don't want to blank area. I want to fill this access to or blank area, because when we copy and paste, and apply the filter, filter not don't recognize this blank belong to the access, belong to the BI. So go
Mhm.
to the design, the report, and select the repeat all item label. Click on the report all item label. You can see my X, my every data will be repeated. And I want to also the insert blank line. So insert the blank line after each item. You can see give the a blank line every item here. Okay. Now I want to remove these features. Remove the blank line. Do not repeat. But I want to merge. I want to merge this cell. Right click. You have tried to merge and also merge from the home menu bar. So you can directly can't merge the directly. You cannot merge directly. So we have right click pivot table options and click here merge. Click here merge. Now okay. Your data will be merged. Now I want to see the data just like BI Udaipur Rabi have a 367 quantity sold. I want to data of this 367. Okay, which data have a sales. So no need to go to the data and apply the filter. Just double click here and you have got the total data of Ravi Udaipur sales. Okay,
Mhm.
just double click. But remember, double click only for your value, total value. Okay, if you double click on the Ravi, no show the data. Double click on the your data totals, which field have a in the value section, right?
Okay.
Just double click. But this is a fantastic tool, but also have a problem. Some people have a habit to double click anywhere. I can also
Mhm.
see the many people's have a they have a problem with the double click. Every time double click in any cell. So that time in the double click and get the data. So I want to disable this feature. People, when you double click the data, but double click on the pivot table summary and can't see the data. So go to right click and go to the pivot table options and click the data and this features enable show details we have unchecked and okay. Now you can see when you have double click on the pivot, your data will be not show. Okay. So today in this
Mhm.
class, we have discussed about the pivot table and we have discussed how can create the summary, how can format our summary, how can apply the charts and pivot charts, and also how can do the matrix format and how can do the arrange my data, my requirement, right?
Okay.
So pivot table is a very critical part and very useful part because with pivot table you have create more than 80% your office report. So I request please learn slowly.